We're going to start doing a Molly Gets Political series on here where I share resources, organizations I'm getting involved with, ways I'm advocating, things I'm doing to learn and educate and gain more knowledge myself. I'm going to buy many Plan Bs. Also, next week I'm planning to go to my local library. I'm going to check out books so that I can learn more about the real history behind the United States of America.
Mama, you're 32. How do you not know this? Oh my God, I'm scared for you.
I'm going to read more books about how our government works and is run. I want to learn a lot more about economics. I also want to consume literature that's written by marginalized groups. I'm specifically thinking in my head Black women. I'm also thinking about Black women in terms of consumer items that I promote on my TikTok. These are just things that are spinning around in my head that I know I'm personally going to do to take action.
So for my girlies, gays, theys, them, she's, hers, and hises, for those don't know, let's do a quick little rundown of who Molly Rutter is. If y'all know, you can skip past to the new tea, but I literally had to get a refresher myself because I was just like, it can't be that bad. It's just so incompetently brain rot after the next, but you know, she makes lifestyle content, but the content she makes is mostly about dating simply because those are her most popular videos, right? And she has the weirdest relationship with her audience because she fluffs up her dating stories and mainly goes after young men, and the age gaps are pretty evident, like 23, 22 to someone that's 32, lady, you're crazy. In any stage of their 20s is wild because for you to just kind of not have it click for you that some of these dudes are going to be immature, that's just blind. You're blind. You're choosing to stay ignorant in that situation because of course they're going to be immature. You're going to be a whole lot of woman for them, lady. You're 32 and you're somebody who's knowing what they want and what they're looking for. A lot of guys, especially in their early 20s, are just looking to have fun and fool around, you know what I mean? You got to be a consistent person in their life, and a special one for them wanting to take it to the next level, and that goes with saying with anybody. I don't know why it's rocket science for her, you know what I'm saying?
This woman was ghosted by her date, and now all of TikTok is going in on her. So this woman posted a TikTok talking about an online date that she was waiting for, but she ended up getting ghosted. Now she goes into detail about the date and talks about how she was upset that she got ghosted, and this is the part that the ghosting starts to make sense. So according to her, before the date even started, she was sort of getting defensive about things. For example, her upcoming date gave her the nickname of Love, and according to her, she did not like that, and she expressed to her upcoming date about how she didn't like that because, again, according to her, this man didn't even know her last name yet, but he was already calling her Love. Now it's very ironic that she says this because she had already asked this man to help her with her taxes since apparently he works in that field. So with her logic, you can ask someone to help with your taxes before the first date, mind you, but if they give you a nickname, that's too much too fast. Oh, but don't worry, there is more. She also criticized her date for calling her ma'am. By the way, I haven't mentioned yet, but she is 32, her date is 23. The woman also further criticized the date for being self-deprecating when he said that she would look good in anything, but he couldn't pull off wearing anything like she could. Now, because of all this, many people started criticizing her heavily in the comments, basically saying things like she's not even dating in the same generation, and a whole lot of other stuff. Like, the comments on this video are a gold mine.
Oh my God. And then she goes it's so wild because she chooses to market her content as dating or what. This is a day in the life of me getting ready or whatever. Y'all, she literally looks completely different than how she does in her dating profile. I was able to find a TikTok and I was just like, oh my God.
I love your daughter. What do you have to offer her? Nothing. Only this.
She looks a lot different, and I don't think that's very fair for some of the videos that she's made about men being like kind of taken aback, but lady, it's not adding up. Of course someone's gonna be taken aback by, like, of course no one's gonna look like spot cookie cutter on as the Rio de Janeiro filter that they're using in that thing, but they're obviously gonna look super similar to the photo that they took. Molly looks really young in those photos, and she looks honestly like she's in a different stage in her life, and that's okay. But to act like the guys are in the wrong for kind of questioning, like, what the hell? Babe, you're not even being honest with yourself, let alone the site. Damn. And it's so wild because it seems like she does, like, and she says whatever she can to get these guys on a date while dragging her dogs all around New York City. And mind you, these dogs never have any booties on.
Going to meet up with Jenny and Shark to get a free Monday hot dog. And this is my new hyperfixation outfit. What about it? Wait till you see how many interactions I get from people when I walk my dogs out in public. I'm gonna try to record it this time.
And it's crazy because I'm from Arizona. If you're gonna be walking your dog out in like any time of the summer, A, you better have booties on, B, you better be very close to grass, and C, you better be walking him in the grass. You know what I mean? This lady is in New York City. I know those sidewalks were hot, and that's when her content really started to pick up, is when it was I want to believe it was her content started to really pick up like around the summertime, like from March to like summer, obviously. So I'm just thinking to myself, lady, oh my god. Especially every guy that she was going out on a date with were getting super uncomfortable because A, she's showing up with dogs, she's really sweaty, they can only do certain things because she has 2 fucking dogs with her. Like, come on, lady, what are we doing here? And then she gets mad at them because they never call her back, and she's like purposely walking super long distances, and like, nobody is making her do this, you know what I mean? A walk and like a cab ride or whatever, like, I'm sure there's some places that are like you're able to walk to, but leave your dogs at home. If you feel safer with your dogs, great, but if you don't get booties on your fucking dog, maybe we should leave them. Maybe I don't know. However you want to feel about the dog situation, you can feel about that, but I just think it's just a lot for a first date. It's different once you get to know somebody, but it's a lot for a first date. You can argue, well, okay, she doesn't feel safe. That's totally fine. I get that. But if you're not feeling safe enough to go on a date, maybe you shouldn't be dating right now. Take a bit of a backseat. That's fine. You know what I mean? Holy shit. Oh my God. And it just keeps adding and adding, right? And this lady decided, okay, now is the perfect time that I'm gonna advocate, or whatever the hell. I don't even know if, like, to classify this as advocacy is honestly even more bonkers, truly. DV, and she did a series of situations where she was like, not series of situations, but she did a video where she talked about a specific date she was going on, and ended the video with a bunch of sirens and, you know, police lights. Turns out it actually was a prank sponsored video. I don't even know the whole tea, but I was able to find deleted videos and insert here, okay?
Doing my makeup for a date. Can you believe? I know most of my followers, I don't need to remind you of this. Look, I'm completely aware that this is my job now. I'm completely aware also that my dating content is the stuff that goes most viral. But the thing is, I'm dating for genuine reasons, okay? I don't go on dates constantly. So yeah, basically, I go on dates when I go on dates, alright? I'm gonna try to do this.
So you already know your girl had to speed this footage up. Like, this goes on for so long, it's crazy. Now let's get to the piece of resistance of where it left off, okay? And mind you, of course everyone was going to be upset. What the hell is this?
Here's the highly anticipated recap of my date from hell. Literally, the scariest date I have ever gone on in my life. So this man surprised me with a private tour of Fright World, which is one of the biggest haunted houses in the country, actually. And I feel really lucky that we have this in Western New York. I've been going to this every year since I was like a little kid. I feel like I've always loved Fright World. And so I thought it was such a cool experience that we got to go through it privately. And I feel like haunted houses are the perfect date night because you get to play all damsel in distress and hang on to them for dear life. It's just like intimate and flirty and fun, and just the adrenaline rush you get from being scared out of your mind the entire time. Like, I just had an absolute blast. And then my zombie boyfriend, he took me to get my makeup done by their makeup artist, and I got to match him with the zombie attire, so we were a cute little undead couple. Sorry to scare you.
Wow, so that's where the beautiful makeup came from? This lady is nuts, you know what I mean? And like I said, to top it off, now she's going to switch all of her content to political because now it affects her, and it's time to wake up and understand how this government works. And how do you not even know the basic rundown of things? Are you serious? And then to have a condescending tone of like, actually...
It's a really this is a very I completely yeah, I have heard of it. Okay, so if
like, lady, are you mad that people are seeing right through it because the calculativeness of every video's a minute long, or you know, you only respond to the comments that have the most likes, or you try to, you know, acknowledge that you don't know much, but, you know, here are your takes. No, we should not buy up all of Plan B because that's the stupidest thing I've heard. Do we want another toilet situation or a toilet paper situation? No, man, we don't, okay? I just have to get a quick rant in. You know me, y'all. You know me. She loves a rant. She loves a rant. My boyfriend gets the same treatment every time he comes home. I'm like, you know what? This lady's on some shit. And mind you, to top it off, even 5 hours ago, she supposedly got into a car accident or so. This lady is a nightmare. And the rabbit hole is gonna be rabbit holing, y'all. Okay, so I really tried to... I watched all of these and I took notes, but I'm going to rewatch them with my babes. It's just so crazy, like, y'all. So we're not going to watch every single one of her TikToks because we would be here for absolutely 90 years. I'm not trying to do that to y'all, okay? So I just want to watch the ones that I thought were the most absolute fucking crazy that she had the balls to post, because at the end of the day, if you're this uninformed, do not post. Use it as a callback to how ignorant you were. Why can't you just learn some shit, absorb it, and then just imagine if I just saw one and I was like, okay, I need to make a video right now. No, girl, you gotta do your research, you gotta look into it, you gotta find the info, and if you're not, don't waste our fucking time. If we wanted to do that, we'll go back on TikTok or whatever else.
and I am physically incapable, it feels. Like this feeling inside me is so strong that I feel physically incapable of posting about anything else right now. And I'm not saying that I won't ever.
Where the fuck were you when the riots were going on, everything else, the first, like, how many times do I gotta say this shit? Imagine choosing till right now to give a shit about what's going on. You gotta be, this is the definition of cooked. She's goddamn over fucking, like, what is it called? You overcooked her. You overcooked her, dude. Like, bitch, you overcooked. Bitch, you overcooked. Bitch, you overcooked. Bitch, you overcooked.
Content? I don't know, because I have no desire to date men right now at all. Maybe when I start exploring dating again, it'll be exclusively with women, and then I'll post about that journey, which I think could be really positive for me. But as of right now, the last thing
Okay, as a bi woman, you don't get to use us for content because the men aren't, like, up for appetizer because you don't want to interact with them. But in a couple of videos coming up, you're going to be like, well, if I want to, like, choose to, like, it's like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like, 4B movement, I don't support, but, like, I get, but I like it.
all is giving attention to some guy I went on one date with who ghosted me. I'm actually not going to talk about that on here because I don't really care.
And people who do care, I think we just have different priorities and different values right now.
That's literally your content. That's literally all you did for your content.
Content that you're looking for me to continue with. I'm not saying never say never. I'm not saying it's never going to come back. But in the near future, friends, it's not coming back.
Ooh.
Just because I have not ever posted anything political prior to right now does not mean I didn't hold very strong political beliefs, including what you mentioned here in this comment. My biggest criticism of Kamala Harris was her stance on the genocide in Gaza. The way she talked about it, the way she didn't answer questions about it, that was my biggest criticism of her. Ultimately,
That's it, nothing else.
Because she wasn't a convicted felon, abuser. She had actual economic and otherwise policy that would protect my right as a woman, that I believe would be overall better for our country. So she was the lesser of two evils. Just because I supported a candidate doesn't mean I supported a genocide. I think you can support a candidate but also be critical of specific stances that they have. So that was my biggest criticism of Kamala Harris. I also, a big difference between her and Trump was that she at least said that she called for a ceasefire, that she wanted a ceasefire. Trump has never said that.
Oh my god, yeah, like, you also can't meme your way into the White House. You also can't say, like, oh, they have a right to defend themselves when they've been mowing down Gaza for the past, fucking year and a half. Don't get me wrong. If you want to choose to support Kamala Harris, that's totally fine. But the way she's acting like, oh, it was a lesser of two evils. It was a lesser of two that's like the classic uninformed argument. And it's like, babe, no, there were other options. Those were just the Coke and the Pepsi of the fucking political sphere. She filled in for Joe Biden because he's too fucking old and can't do this race. Maybe somebody should have talked to him and said, dude, hey, you should have pulled your fucking thing in from the first go. Maybe she could have had more of a chance to do what she needed to do, could have actually taken time with her policies, whatever. But the argument of people on TikTok who were getting mad at anybody for coming out with any sort of argument against Kamala Harris and just, calling them racist and shit. If you want to say something is not a good thing, I get it. That's understandable, but it's just to act like those were the only options that you had, and it's, oh my god. It's just I'm not trying to speak on who you should or shouldn't vote for. I just think it's really ignorant to act like those are the only options we had, and if we didn't
about the genocide in Gaza. But that's ultimately why I chose her. And again, to your point, I have never talked about anything political online before, and that is changing now. I have decided.
That's the issue. Why are you waiting till right now to express how much this has bothered you, dude? I don't understand. You have a platform. You yourself have said this. She's just so ignorant. It's crazy. It's just so wild. You know what I mean? And shit. And it's just so crazy too, because I'm gonna be real. The fact that Kamala is a brat, or brat, she's a brat. That bit her in the ass, because you cannot meme your way into the White House. Trump tried to do it himself, and it just came back to bite him in the ass. Don't get me wrong. If you liked how she served, then that's great, but she really marketed herself towards a younger demographic who couldn't even fucking vote yet. Mind you, us young adults are out here trying to figure out how we're gonna pay our rent and feed ourselves because everything's so fucking expensive. I don't want to hear about Charlie XCX and her fucking let's do coke in the summertime. Okay, great. This person also supported somebody that was using Palestinian stereotypes as a fucking target practice at a shooting range. I don't need her to be a brat. I need her to be a good political leader, and I need her to do her fucking job. Genuinely. That's it. All that cutesy, like, entertainment bullshit can come later, dude. It can come later. I want to see you be someone to, like, actually help us get out of this rut. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's out of pocket to ask for, no matter who you're voting for. You know what I mean? I hate talking about fucking politics. It makes my brain hurt because some of us were raised by the government, okay? Some of us were, like, my legal guardian was the government. So if you want to talk about how something just bothered you, try imagining Uncle Sam being your fucking guardian, okay? That shit sucks. And he doesn't ever have a present, he doesn't have compassion, and he doesn't love you. We have a joke in foster care, okay? What's the difference between CPS and an elevator? An elevator will always raise you and rise you to the top and take you somewhere else. CPS never will. That's fucking crazy. No. No. And my argument goes even deeper for, you know, the people of color who have to struggle, who have to deal with shit that I've never experienced in my fucking life. And it makes me mad that, oh, now you're gonna wake up? Oh, now it's gonna click for you? Fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of my face. And then it just gets me too because you want to shove your uninformed bullshit down our throats since you can see a $ from the political grift of switching your content to dating young, ignorant men who don't know your fucking tactics to talking about ignorant political talking points, which we can read through you like a fucking book, dude. You're a clear sheet of translucent paper, okay? We see right through it. And thank God people are calling you out because at this point, just hang it up. Just fucking hang it up. You're not doing anything for advocacy. Why don't we talk about and do something for the people that have been doing about it, that have dedicated themselves to them, that have dedicated their pages to it, that have made the effort. No, your white savior bullshit will not be tolerated. Fuck that. I am so worked up because I hate people like this. People like this fucking disgust me. What is wrong with you? Why would you wait for so long to even act like you gave a fuck? Because everybody else around you has been dying for someone to give a fuck. Okay?
And there are thousands of women currently being essayed in countries where there are restricted access to abortion.
I feel like it's Brittany Broski. I feel like we're talking to Brittany Broski about like, hey guys, did you know that there's like, yeah, we do. Yeah, actually, we know this. Where have you been? Do not instruct your literal fan base to go and buy and stock up on Plan Bs. Are you fucking stupid? That defeats the literal purpose of a Plan fucking B. What do you expect people to use? We gotta call up Molly. You are the last person somebody needs to go through to get a fucking Plan B, you weirdo. This ain't a tampon. You can't just shove it up to the next girl. You're crazy. You're nuts.
Equals out to 60 women per day in this country who are victims of SA, who do not have unrestricted access to abortion. And so then, to your point, a lot of people will then say, well, then why don't they just go to another state, okay? So to expect someone, let's say like a teenage girl who was essayed.
Welcome to the fucking abortion laws, dumbass.
So my stance on abortion and it being in the hands of the states is not just about myself, because I have this capacity to
it's genuinely so scary she's 32. It's genuinely so scary she's 32. Imagine what she was like in her mid-20s. Oh my god.
My own sphere, right? Katie, get with me here. Empathy. So even though I'm very grateful that I live in New York State, that I still have access to abortion, I am thinking about all of the women who don't in this country right now. So, God forbid I'm traveling to another state and I get raped. I would like to have the possibility of being able to abort that pregnancy. And that is why I will be stocking up on Plan B.
It's like she's the dumbest person in the room. She's the dumbest person in the room. I hate being mean. I hate being this brash, but at the end of the day, this is fucking brain rot. This is brain rot to the fullest. You got me talking like I'm 3 out here. And it's scary too because this lady has a platform. This lady was given a mouthpiece. You're taking away from people that actually do good. Like, oh my god, well, let her, can she be an advocacy? Like, let her speak on it. Yeah. Why wasn't she doing that a while ago? She's in her early 30s. Most of us are in our early 20s, late 20s, or, barely just becoming like an adult. People are able to grasp this shit in fucking elementary. It's rudimentary, bitch. Don't even get me like Sherlock Holming on your ass, okay?
I have done my research. It's a really interesting question. I would say that at first, when I heard about the 4B movement, I was like, hell yeah, get me on that bandwagon, 4B all the way, okay? But I would say that as I thought about it more, I'm more iffy on it. I completely 100% support it as a movement, as a form of protest. Any person in this country right now that wants to participate in the 4B movement, I will clap for you, I will support you, absolutely love, right? I would say that there are some concerns I have about it. Like, I'm concerned that women who are choosing not to partake in the 4B movement, who have chosen, let's say, to marry men or to continue to have, intimate involvements with men, I'm afraid of the judgment that will be cast towards them. I think there already is a lot of shame about women engaging in those types of activities out of marriage. And so my fear is that there will be more of a...
Why the fuck do you think the 4B movement exists? Because those women in those countries don't have the fucking right? Those women in the country that the 4B movement is going on is It's crazy how this just does so much more harm than good. Like, there's one thing of talking about, maybe there could be some attributes or, different angles of how, the movement could, affect somebody who, you're trying to bring up. But the movement is for people that don't have any fucking rights, right? The movement is for women that are, But it goes into saying she can do whatever she wants in the first place, right? She has that privilege. How nice it must be to have that privilege. How nice it must be to just... You're so dumb. You're so dumb. And it's so funny because this is not even the first time in history that a 4B movement has happened. Back in ancient fucking Greek, okay? They were literally doing a sex protest in the Peloponnesian War. I probably butchered that. Apologies. To literally show that they do not want a fucking war to continue. The women went on strike with their bodies, okay? Mind you, this was all for a haunted house. Somebody took her on a little private tour of a haunted house.
That I hurt and disrespected by making that video, I accept and take responsibility for that. And those people don't have to forgive me or accept my apology. The fact of the matter is, I did take accountability for what I did, and I still do, and I apologized for it, and I will apologize again for it right now. And I will say that I'm not a perfect person. I will say that I made a mistake.
Too old to be doing this shit, that's for sure. Nope.
I completely hear you on this. And this is something that's very heavily weighing on my mind right now as well. Because I know that even though I've been obsessively consuming content related to this election ever since the results came out, I would say that that's very heavily weighing on my mind right now as well. Because I know...
And literally, Celeste Alana said it best in the comment section to where she said, the privilege of starting to give a damn after the election. 2016 didn't do it for you. George Floyd and Breonna Taylor didn't do it for you. Really? You just want to keep using marginalized communities, specifically black people. You know what I mean? I don't know what your little infatuation is, but they don't need your help, babe. They don't need your help.
And, you know, engaged in things that allowed me to escape, allowed me to feel joy. And so I completely understand that my content has been a source of comfort, a source of joy, a source of entertainment for so many people.
Okay. For who?
Just because I know I'm going to speak on politics now more than I ever have.
Nobody asked you to. This is like 90 videos too long, girls. Shut the fuck up.
I'm going to completely stop my other content, right? It's just right now it's all super fresh that I can't just like open my TikTok shop boxes and promote products to you guys right now. You know, I'm not on the dating apps right now. I have no interest in going on.
But it didn't bother you before.
There are, like, things that I know I've received a lot of attention for, that people have really enjoyed watching, that I know I'm not capable of posting right now. And it doesn't mean it's gone forever. It just means that right now I need to lean a little bit more towards posting this kind of content. And I
like, who the fuck asked for this? Like, who asked for this? I want to see you right now. Who asked for a Molly Rutter goddamn political take? Nobody. Nobody asked for this. Oh my god.
How do you not see how Trump winning has affected my dating life? I genuinely don't understand how you don't see that. A convicted felon, a person who was found liable.
Are you going on a date with Trump and we don't know? Like, why does this affect you so much? Why does this affect you so much? Because now your like abortion rights are at risk or something, when he literally said it's up to the states to do with what they want to do. You live in a state where it's not an issue for you. What are you talking about? Mind you, you're gonna buy up all the fucking Plan B, so you should be stocked up, right? Right? And I think a couple of videos, like, we won't even get there, but she talks about how, like, no, I will not, like, let, like, people, like, you know, just be doing whatever, like, I will be using contraceptive, like, what.
For SA, how do you see how that doesn't affect me and therefore affects my dating life? Trump winning has done much more than just...
What did it do to your dating life back in 2016? How are you surviving?
dangerous without...
Or Molly, what do we do? Molly, no!
So it's going to normalize misogyny and bigotry and racism and sexism. And we've already seen it. I've seen videos of those texts that were going around telling people...
That one kid in class who just had like an epiphany about the most like shit we've been knowing about for the past year, and then they try to like school you on it like you don't know something. Like, okay.
That, you know, to go work on a cotton field and be a slave. I've heard women who've heard men yell, "My body, your body, my choice." You see it all over Twitter. Like,
like, where has she been? Where has she been? Where has she been? This has been... and it's like... I'm not justifying any of that behavior, obviously. I hope that's pretty valid. I just think it's crazy that this stuff is just hitting her like a ton of bricks, and it's like... You've had the platform for a while and you've waited until now to use your voice. And like this comment says, like, it's super sad. Like, it's pathetic, dude. It's lame.
if a person held liable for SA was able to become the president of our country, how do you not see how that's going to affect
a person with lied about DV abuse, okay, and then used it as a prank or a sponsor or just like whatever she used it as to show off that she was on a date at a private haunted house. Imagine.
dating life for women? How do you not see that? my perspective was already shifting lately towards not dating as much and decentering men from my life. But now that's become even stronger in my mind. If there are women in this country who have lost their bodily autonomy, why am I going to care
Where was she when Roe versus Wade was going on? Like,
about dating? Why am I going to want to date straight white men? And this is not a hate towards all straight white men. One of the reasons why the majority of the content I've been consuming over the past few days has been Dean and Parker. You might have seen them from the Jubilee debates and stuff like that. These are young Gen Z straight white men. And they stand for all of the same values that I do, and they're very eloquent, and they're incredibly smart, knowledgeable men.
she said dick
And
riding.
so I've been listening to them almost exclusively over the past few days because it's just reminding me that good straight white men exist. That's what that's reminding me of, so that I don't fall into this despair thinking that all straight white men. I completely agree with you. It would have been beneficial for me to use my platform to talk about politics and advocacy before this point. But does that mean that I should just not do anything about it now just because I didn't do anything about it before? Like, logically, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Like, why are you so... It's just crazy. I don't even have any more words to say about this lady. She's just fucking... She's just insufferable, bro. She's insufferable. She just loves to hear herself talk. Like, she insists upon herself. She just loves to hear herself talk. Like, her and Ryan Murphy in a room together. Ooh. I can't. And then her audience just being like, nobody asked for this. You waited so long. It's always on some preachy bullshit. Maybe take a note and, like, just, you know what I mean? Like, I literally have a link tree. The first thing on my link tree is Operation, like, Gaza. You know what I mean? It has all these different links that you can find. You know what I mean? You don't have to be such a white savior about it. You can be an advocate, you can voice, you can scream from the rooftops about how, like, you know, hey, it's there. And don't get me wrong, I could be doing a better job of that too as well. Holy shit. But at the end of the day, it's just so ignorant for you to act like up in arms about how your audience is mad turned off by this. Of course they are. They don't want to hear a dumbass, uninformed political take when they've been hearing about it this whole election time. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, I'm still going to keep harping on this because I think there's very clearly a misunderstanding here. So I do completely agree with you that I'm most certainly not going to engage in unprotected intercourse with men in the near future.
See, exactly. So, it went back to my point of earlier. Shut the fuck up. You're not doing anything to help. Why don't you be an advocate and be like, okay, these are a list of people that can help you if you do have to travel to another state. Like, da-da-da-da. Like, I don't... Babe, you're not gonna end it by fucking stocking up all of the Plan B in whatever city you're from in New York. Like, that's not gonna help. You're gonna hinder all the girlies in that location, and then you're gonna have everybody being like beating on your door being like, bitch, I need my Plan B. You're like, why would you want to be the gatekeeper of that? Get the fuck out of here.
Trust me. Trust me, I'm not. Even though I live in New York State, where I legally could have an abortion, right? So that's like first and foremost. But as I mentioned in a previous video, I care
And see,
about...
shit like this is where it gets me too, because it's like you're just choosing to be so ignorant about the information before you. How the fuck are you sitting there and being like, well, I live in a state and da-da-da-da. Again, you're not helping by creating a mass panic to go ahead and stock up and hoard something. What's not clicking for you? Are you okay? One of the comments were like, are you drunk? Because it's giving like sporadic drunk behavior, dude.
So I care about the women in other states in this country
who do not have access to abortion. And I'm thinking about the 65,000.
Like, it's so
rape
preachy.
victims.
Like, anyways.
I don't blame anyone at all for having this opinion of me. The world might not feel too bright right now.
And it just goes, oh my god, and it just goes on like that for, oh my god, what, 4, 5, 6 more videos, and I'm not trying to brain rot us than we already are feeling. I want to let you girlies know that, you know, this shit sucks. At the end of the day, these type of people are only doing more damage than ever helping. And always hold your creators accountable. And that includes me included. You know what I mean? I may be a minuscule creator, but if I do something wrong, hold me accountable. If I say something wrong, hold me accountable. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, it's okay to have a contrarian point of view, but this is just straight up ignorant. And it's just, like, wild that you're just kind of talking to your audience and the people around you. Like, we kind of don't already know this, when at the end of the day, we've been here. Like, we've been true to this. We ain't new to this. Okay, baby? I need you to be so fucking for real. And I thought we could end off on the absolute crazy turn of her most recent TikTok as of 9 hours ago, where this happened. Okay, I'll let her speak for herself.
I got in a car accident yesterday, and it's definitely the worst car accident I've ever gotten in my life. Obviously, I'm okay. I'm here, and my brother, thank God, and everyone involved in it is okay. What happened was, we were at a stop sign. Literally, we were at a stoplight. And a person fully ran into us, like, probably going 30 miles per hour, ran into us from behind. And the reason I say it was the worst one I've ever been in is because I've had my fair share of, like, some accidents here and there, but this was the first one where, like, all of a sudden we're at this stop sign, right? And, like, then I notice that we're forward, like, we're in front of the stoplight, and I instantly have a headache and my whole back is hurting. And I was like, what just happened? And then that's when it all came to me that we just got hit. And so my brother's, like, complete right side of his bumper had to be taken off, like, and we went to immediate care, and I wasn't diagnosed with a concussion or anything, but with the, like, assessments that the doctor did, it came out that I probably just have whiplash, and that led to, like, back spasms and stuff.
Okay, for someone that has a whiplash, you're moving your neck so much, and like, I've pulled my neck, bitch. I've had whiplash. Like, Castles and Cozies out here in Phoenix, the one loop-de-loop, that it's classic for giving you whiplash, okay? That shit hurts. You really genuinely cannot move your neck. You're being too fluid with it. And also, let's also play even more of a devil's advocate. If it happened literally today, right now, okay? Like 10 hours ago, right? You definitely wouldn't be so fluid if your back is hurting, you have whiplash, and, like, all this other shit. I am not making fun of anybody in an accident. I just think it's wild that you're gonna claim you have whiplash, and in the same video you're, like, talking like this, and the accident was supposed to, like, take place in the same day. Okay.
Like, muscle spasms, and so she just said, take some ibuprofen. The doctor did tell me that the next day was probably going to feel worse, and she's totally right. Like, today my back is definitely hurting more than it did yesterday.
And even my brother, like, he didn't feel any pain initially when it happened, but like by the time we got to the doctors, he was feeling pain in his back. And yesterday I was on the phone with one of my best friends. We were on the phone for like an hour talking about the state of our country and all these things. And my best friend is also a therapist, and so obviously she had a really rough week. And so we were discussing all of this for a full hour, and then I tell her, oh, by the way, I got in a car accident today. And I'm like, it's just so crazy to me how, like, we had that whole conversation, and it just occurred to me again that I had this car accident. I'm just like, oh God, add it to the list, you know, add it to the list of things going on right now. Add it to the list, add it to the list. And you know what, to everyone who loves to criticize me for wearing the same clothes every single day, like, what about it? What about it? I'm using t-shirt, it's dirty. I've been wearing it for like pretty
Don't you ever fucking do that accent in my presence again.
much a week at this point, the same shirt. Not outside. When I go outside, guys, I put different clothes on. And I have showered this week once. But can you smell me through the phone? Can you smell me?
Yeah, the smell-o-vision's going crazy. Oh, fuck. In conclusion, insufferable as ever, has lied about DV, has been so uninformed that her audience and literally people just, you know, having the unfortunate experience of just scrolling past this shit and just, you know, I think it's wild how you're like, I'm gonna put, you know, black voices and black stores and store owners on my page. Oh, fuck, you weren't doing that before, dog. Excuse you. White savior. Y'all. So this is yeah, this is the most pissed off I've been in a fucking while. You know, I always joke about how, like, the Jeffree Star videos, you know, they give me a little tiff. Like, no, this lady was a new one. And shout out to my baby sis. She's the one who actually gave me the recommendation to, you know, go back down the Molly Rutter rabbit hole, because, wow, this election stuff really just made you like, exactly, not too bright. Holy shit. Thank you, Molly. You always have the best words. You know what I mean? You always know what to say, girl. Oh, Lord. Oh my God. So, in conclusion, and you want to talk about stress? You want to talk about stress on top of the election, everything that's going on? Bitch, I got a stress, like, sore, okay? My fucking lips are chapped. I was throwing up. All this other shit. They're cracked. Ouchie McGowies. Don't even fucking get me started. Now, it doesn't matter how stressed someone is. It's not a stress off, okay? I just think picking and choosing your battles, and when you want to be political and when you want to be politically aware, and I mean, you guys, literally go watch the rest of the videos. There's a lot that I just didn't go over because she's just so insufferable, and at the end of the day, I don't think we're missing much from an uninformed take like hers, but I will say the fact where she was like, I am gonna take this time to go read a book and go to the library and like do some like research on to know how our government works, and oh my god, that's like being like 80 years old and being like, damn, I didn't know that was the process of an election. Where were you for the 80 years? Oh my god. Anyways, I love you, babies. Sorry for the brain rot of this one. I just, wow. Always wow. Love you. Stay safe out there. And don't forget, bitch, I need you back here. We gotta like resume the FaceTime call, as the girlies would say. And yeah, I love you so much. And just keep being fucking you. And don't forget to let that light shine. Okay? Bye, babies.